This is a link to an article by New York Magazine's Intelligencer, and here we are once again. They are telling you it's completely corrupt. They say prosecutors got Trump, but they contorted the law. That's obviously them just barely sugarcoating the fact that it's all completely crooked. And we remember the 2021 Time Magazine article about how they fortified the election and the secret cabal that saved you from yourself. It's all completely corrupt, and I don't know if I should give them credit for admitting the truth or if this is even more diabolical that they're rubbing your face right in it. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because the algorithm is a beast. It would help me out a lot and it would cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me out even more and spend a little bit of money, go ahead and buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description. And this guy who makes the Twitter post actually sums it up quite well, I think. I didn't read the article because the real one is behind a paywall, and shout out to Time Magazine for not putting their corruption behind a paywall. But he says, CNN senior legal analyst describes how the Trump conviction was a political hit job, as if we didn't already know that. And they say it too, right? I think it was Joy Reid who said, well, good thing this happened in New York. Otherwise, it might have been on the left. She didn't say that in so many words, but she says, New York is overrun with Democrats and the corruption goes all the way to the top. So he didn't stand a chance, right? I mean, they're constantly saying the quiet part out loud, and I don't even know if it's the quiet part anymore. We are quite literally in the middle of a civil conflict. But it goes on. The judge donated money in plain violation of a rule prohibiting New York judges from making political donations to a pro-Biden, anti-Trump political operation. Alvin Bragg boasted on the campaign trail in an overwhelmingly Democrat county, "It is a fact that I have sued Trump over 100 times." And Big Shame James did the same thing and then claimed that she didn't run on getting rid of Trump. It's like, we saw it. We literally have the proof.
The people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. Challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
Okay, maybe it's not 4K. It's like old school cell phone video, but we can see you clearly going after Trump. Most importantly, the DA's charges against Trump push the outer boundaries of the law and due process. And these are all in quotes, so I assume this comes directly from the article. The charges against Trump are obscure and nearly entirely unprecedented. In fact, no state prosecutor in New York or Wyoming or anywhere has ever charged federal election laws as a direct or predicate state crime against anyone for anything. None, ever. The DA inflated misdemeanors past the statute of limitations and electroshocked them back to life by alleging the falsification of business records was committed with intent to commit another crime, and he obviously hasn't specified what that new crime was. Inexcusably, the DA refused to specify what those unlawful means actually were, and the judge declined to force them to pony up until right before closing arguments. So much for the Constitution obligation to provide notice to the defendant of the accusations against him in advance of trial. In these key respects, the charges against Trump aren't just unusual, they're bespoke, seemingly crafted individually for the former president and nobody else, quite obviously. The Manhattan DA's employees reportedly have called this the zombie case because of various legal infirmities, including its bizarre charging mechanism. but it's better characterized as the Frankenstein case cobbled together with ill-fitting parts into an ugly, awkward, but more or less functioning contraption that might just ultimately turn on its creator. And we all remember the big fat phony furious Fannie Pack Willis case in Georgia, right? They took the mugshot and went hugely viral. It was big news, but then we don't even talk about that anymore, right? I mean, what happened in Georgia? Are you guys, if you were actually going after crimes, you would have to keep pushing that, but instead you just jump from case to case to case, and nothing really matters, and we all know it. And it's really despicable that these people are admitting it, and they are okay with destroying everything, destroying the rule of law. Nobody is above the law.
No one, not even the president, is above the law.
Got that? No one is above the law. Explain the very same people who spent all day making excuses for illegitimate government spying on American citizens. But never mind. Literally, no one is above the law. Watch.
No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
No one's above the law.
No one is above the law.
That no person is above the law.
Nobody should be above the law.
Nobody should be above the law, including the President of the United States.
To get Orange Man bad, but why? Are you guys that, I get they are that corrupt, right? I mean, now I'm like sort of being naive. It's like, why do you want to do this? Why don't you just go back to the dungeon and come up with a plan that somebody likes? But they can't, because it's all about making sure that their gravy train keeps rolling, which might slow down if Orange Man is selected, whatever, back into office. And here, of course, is the old article from 2021, The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the Election. Saved it from who? Saved it from the American people to keep the regime in power. It's all completely disgusting. So this is just another earlier case, and we've known this for many years. All the way back in 2019, I literally said, this doesn't even make sense. There's no way Bojan can win this election, but of course, he somehow did. And they're telling you how that happened, and now they're telling you how they got a conviction. And there's even a little bit more. This from the Instagram account of Slate Magazine, which is obviously a weirdo pinko commie rag that nobody takes seriously.
Pinko commie rag.
But I just thought it was strange that they post this to their Instagram. We can find the tape of Trump saying the N-word. Well, why didn't you? That would be huge news. You would have thousands, millions of hits. You would get clicks. You would get ads all over the place. But you don't actually have that tape. And in this post, they say they can find it. But when you look directly at the article, they say how to find the Trump apprentice tape. I've been trying to track this down for years. I have some ideas of where to start, which is really bizarre. So these people are quite literally chasing a dragon, and I'm always under the assumption that nobody can really be this stupid, and it's totally evil, which it quite clearly could be. But there might also just be some people that are this dumb and this brainwashed and have been manipulated this heavily into chasing down a tape that may or may not even exist. And at this point, who cares, right? Oh, say from when Donald Trump was on television for 10 or 15 years and everybody loved it. And when that tape comes out and you've thrown everything at the wall, you're trying to literally put him in jail. You're throwing case after case after case. This, of course, is not illegal, but somehow they are going to make you believe that a tape of Trump saying the N-word is actually worse than the crimes they're claiming he committed. And there's another story about Chef G. Of course, we all remember Chef G when he showed up at the Trump rally in the Bronx. And it's a little bit strange because he is a stone cold criminal, but whatever, that's just where we are now, right? Politics makes for strange bedfellows. But you have Ebro, who I've made several videos about. He is a weirdo race baiter. And you have Rosenberg and the chick that's on their show. It's like the B-grade Breakfast Club. I forget the name of the show. But they have gone on record saying that Chef G should not be performing at Summer Jam because he supports Donald Trump. So a 25-year-old stone cold gangster that terrorized portions of Brooklyn You know, you like his song, so you book him for Summer Jam, and that doesn't really matter. That's all on the level. But that same criminal, who I don't even know how he's out of jail, but doesn't even matter, the same guy who raps about committing crimes that he likely committed is booked for Summer Jam. And that's not a problem. It does become a problem when he endorses Donald Trump. I mean, think about that. Think about that level of manipulation. These are the same people who are chasing down a 2-decade-old tape because they think Trump might have said the N-word, even though he probably didn't. And if he did, so what? It's not a crime. And could that be any worse than all of the things Bo Jiden has said?
So I made sure you guys got your chicken, your orange soda, or Kool-Aid, if that's what you're into. Oh, I'm really sorry that Jill forgot the watermelon and hot sauce. Listen, I absolutely love the blacks, especially when you people vote for me and not Trump.
Right? He just released that tweet about like, oh, Donald Trump is a loser and black people voted for me. And it's all really weird. And of course, you know, the hits just keep on coming. Obviously, the headliner of the entire thing. If Bo Jiden, you know, headlined a festival set, obviously he would have to play You Ain't Black, you know, at midnight. We all have our lasting memories of the 2016 election. One of my most vivid happened in the final days of the 2016 presidential campaign as I was standing on the lawn of one of the producers of The Apprentice near a... Look, okay, bro. He's going to paint this rosy picture about how sad he was and how you really, really hope that Donald Trump said the N-word. But, look, all of this to say... First of all, let's make sure that we're clear here. We can find, that is a definitive statement. We can find the N-word. Of course, I saw that and went to the article, and it's not the same. It quite literally says how to find the Trump Apprentice tape. So I guess you're just giving people the runaround at this point. And look, you know what? I hope they find the tape, right? Obviously, play the tape and let us all watch and confirm that it won't matter one way or the other. You have criminals admitting, I mean, the criminal political regime, that is, which is separate from the criminal citizenry of New York and San Francisco and all that stuff. But you have these journalists, quote unquote journalists, telling you that they fortified the election with a cabal. You have these journalists telling you that, yeah, the Trump conviction wasn't really on the level, which we all knew from the start, right? They had been trying until it gets to big fat Alvin Bragg, and they find a way to convict this guy, which I think it's all going to blow back on them once more. But all of this stuff, it just won't matter. It only solidifies the fact that this regime is totally desperate, but not actually desperate enough to come up with a plan that people like, because there is no more political discussion. There is no more platform. It's just us telling you exactly what to do. And if you don't, you're going to be a criminal. And in the meantime, we're going to cut the junk off your kids.